Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. It is the 25th, so that means it is Smash That Small Paper Pad. So this is a collaboration where we are aiming to use up our small paper pads, anything under a 12 by 12. This is a collaboration that is hosted by the lovely Deb Houck of Deb Houck's Crafty Cottage. So please do go on over and take a look at her channel, and also all the other fantastic ladies that are in this collaboration, because I'm sure that you will find some fantastic inspiration. I know that I do every single month. All the links to that will be in the description box below this video. So if you watched last month, you'll know that I finished up my paper pad last month, so I decided to start on a new one. So this is the paper pad that I picked. It is this retro feelings, it's quite a sort of vintagey, grungy looking paper pad that I picked up from a local shop here in the UK called The Range. And as you can see, I've made a pretty good job at smashing it in one go. So I've got a few little bits left. They will be finished when I have completely finished my project. But yeah, that's what I've got left at the moment. And I did actually have to dip into another pad, which is this one, which is by the same brand. I think it's all this Craft Sensations brand. But this one is Urban Style, because I just needed an extra couple of the full-size sheets, and I'd run out from the paper pad that I picked. So this is my project. I've made one large project this month, and I have made a mini album. So I'm just going to pull the camera out a little bit so we can see it. So it's quite a simple one because I did only have a couple of evenings in which to make it. So I've kept it reasonably simple. I have made the folder and covered it in black cardstock, and then I've used the pattern paper to make panels on the front and the back, and obviously I will go through and decorate these further. I've put this lovely frame, so this was a wooden Bare Essentials wooden frame that again I picked them up from The Range. They were a pack of 4, about £3 I think. And I've just used various different distress inks. I think I used brush corduroy, vintage photo and ground espresso, just to grunge it up and age that frame up a bit. And then I went over it with a layer of crackle accents, which gave it a bit of a glossy finish, but also it's like a distressed glossy finish. And then before I actually glued it down, I have put it onto foam pads so that it's lifted slightly, and I did make an impression of the frame just by while the ink was still wet. I laid it down on a piece of white cardstock, and that enabled me to cut out the right shape so that I've got a template for whatever it is I'd like to slip into that frame. And then, like I say, I've just laid it up on foam dots so that it's got you know, enough sort of depth there so that I can slide the picture in. I screwed a little catch onto the frame, and I just did put a drop of glossy accents in as I screwed it in, just to make sure that it held really securely. And then underneath the paper on the back sheet, I have secured a waxed linen or a waxed cotton thread with this really pretty little hook that just hooks in there, and then I'm going to make a dangle with what's left of this thread, so that's why I've not cut that loose yet. Opening it up, like I say, I did keep it reasonably simple because I only had a couple of evenings, so I've just put some of the pattern paper on this side. I've distressed all the edges with either warm honey or vintage photo distress ink, depending on what paper I used. On the first page, I've just got an additional flap with a magnetic closure. On the second pages, I've used this really lovely retro-y paper, and I've made a couple of corner pockets with some dies that I'd got. And then again, I've used one of the pattern papers just to do the overlay on that one. I've done it with a solid black background because I thought with all that filigree, taking things in and out of the pockets, it would probably catch and rip the cardstock. So I've done it on a solid black background and then overlaid the filigree element over the top of it. On the next page, I've done flip outs like that, and again they're on magnetic closures, and I've just put some of the lovely vintagey papers, and then I've put this paper here with the letters and things, and then that lovely sort of aqua coloured floral paper on that side, and again it's all mounted on the black cardstock. Next page, I've done again a couple of little pockets, and I've put that nice grungy paper in the background, but then I've layered that really pretty fresh aqua coloured floral one again on the top there, and I've put some of this lace trim that I've used on the binding here, and I put that on, if I'm honest, because the binding cracked a little bit, and I just thought, well, it looks nice and it just covers up where the paper cracked slightly on the binding. So I'm going to make some tags and things, photo mats and things to slip in the pockets on these ones and these ones. I've just put these in for now just to show that they are pockets. This page, again, I've done some flaps, so I've just done, they flap up and they flap down, and they've got this really lovely blue sort of damask type print, some of that nice letter print on there, and the retro print on the top. And this is actually the pattern paper that I took from the other pad, because I just didn't have two pieces big enough to cover that, and then I used the last piece of that pattern to cover the tops of those flaps, and I just think they go really lovely together. I love that page. I think that might be my favourite one. And then on the final back page, again, that one's just blank at the moment. I might put a photo mat on these ones. I haven't made my mind up yet, but I've put a small photo mat here. And then this one has got this lovely little, again, this is just a die cut that I had. I made a little flap to flap up. I used a stitched banner die to make a little belt for that one, and that comes down. And then this folds out like that, and there's actually, it's two-sided, and you've got 4 on that side and 3 spaces on that side to put like Polaroid type pictures in there, and that's again all magnetic so that it all clips down and stays clipped together really nicely. So that's what I made using the Retro Feelings paper pad. I really like it, and you know, especially to say it's only taken me a couple of evenings to put together. There's another evening's work there, you know, decorating it up and you know, finishing it off, and I have got an idea for that. So if you come back to my channel on Saturday, hopefully I will have this done for then, and you will get to see the complete finished article. So yeah, that was it. I really enjoyed making this. I'd forgotten how much I love making mini albums, and I've been watching Judy from My Scrapbook Loft, and she's been making albums, and it just inspired me to get my chipboard out and make an album. And the beauty of making your own album and your own spine is that you can have as much depth as you want. So I like quite a lot of dimension, so I need a nice thick spine, because by the time I've got all my photos and all the embellishments and things in there, that's going to be, you know, it's going to be taking up all the space in that album. So I could make the spine as wide as I wanted it, and also I was able to make the covers exactly the right size for the paper pad that I was using, so I didn't actually have to trim too much of the paper off when I was making the main sheets for the paper, so I didn't waste an awful lot of the paper. So that's the beauty of making your own albums from scratch. So I hope you've enjoyed having a look at what I made with my small paper pad this month. I think you'll agree that it makes a nice size photo album. It's, you know, these pads, which in the UK are, I think they're only a couple of £1, you know, and the chipboard was probably the same, you know, so for under a £5 I've made what I think is a really, really lovely album. And okay, there's a lot of work that goes into them, but yeah, I think that's really beautiful, and I think that will make a nice gift for someone. I think that, you know, whoever I end up sending it to will appreciate the gift, or I hope they will. But like I say, I've got lots of tags and things to make. Oh, and I forgot to mention that the pockets, the pages are also pocket pages. So I'm going to make some big photo mats that will sit like that in every page, and then you'll be able to pull out, and it'll be a full-size photo mat on the pages as well. So I will be using some papers from another book. I'm going to go through my pads and find some that coordinate to cover the photo mats for the pages, because I think there'll be 5 photo mats, which obviously means 10 sheets to go inside. So yeah, I'll just find something coordinating, and then I'm going to try and use up the scraps to make embellishments and things for the pages, yeah, you know, page flags and things like that, and hopefully just completely get rid of that pad by the next time we come back and I see you next month. So I hope you've enjoyed a look at my project. If you did, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up, And if you're not already a subscriber to my channel, please do consider it. I'd love to have you along for the journey. I have got a giveaway on at the moment. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subbies so that I can do lives. So there's a really big prize pack of dies and stamps and embossing folders and stickers and all sorts. So please do go and check that out. And I will see you all again very soon in the next crafty video. Bye for now.